All right, so I'm going to show everybody my digs for the night, actually the next 2 nights. So I'll take the pan back here. This is just an Amazon hammock. Again, we go back to camping on a budget. I don't remember exactly how much it was, but I definitely remember it didn't break the bank, and I have used it a bunch. I have used it probably 7 camping trips at this point, and so far it's yet to let me down. It's starting to fray just a little bit over here in the mosquito netting, but I mean, it is what it is. Like I said, I try to treat my gear right, but you know how that goes. This is a just an inflatable air mattress sort of thing that I got off Amazon too. I actually got a double person. It's a double. It's set for 2. And the reason I did that is because when I lay down in it, it wraps around me and it protects me from the wind, and that's super important. It also comes with its own blow up pillow. But I don't know. We'll see. I also brought my regular pillow, my regular blow up pillow, and I'm using the patrol bag out of the 3-layer system that I have. That's rated to 30 degrees. Plus, I have my old Army Whoopee. So we're gonna see how well that fares. Like I keep saying, we'll get to it when we get to it. And then change of clothes, change of warm clothes, sweatpants, jacket, and hat. Change of socks too. Which brings me to the next thing, my bike. So, for those of you who have been following the channel for a while, you will know that I used to drive a Mini Cooper. I have since sold the Mini Cooper, and I bought a 1999 Toyota 4Runner. So I found it. It was a screaming deal. I went and I talked to the guy, and I was like, hey man, I really want this. You know, when can you meet me? He goes, oh, people are pounding down the door. Like I said, the price was really good, too good. So I ended up meeting up with this guy, and everything looks good. Car starts first time. I didn't see any rust, any signs, all the stuff you look for. I didn't see any fluid leaking, nothing that I could visually see. And my wife, who's actually more mechanically inclined than I am, was there with me, and she took a look at it. She's like, man, it looks good. So as we're getting ready to pull out of the driveway, the check engine light comes on. I stop, pull over, have the guy come out and, like, hey man, what's going on with this check engine light? So he runs his diagnostic and he says, oh, well, it's just your vacuum tube. It's one of your vacuum tubes. Let me go ahead and mess with it. So he messes with it and he checks the code again. He goes, oh, okay, it's gone. So I had about a 50-mile drive from where I picked up the car to my house. So I'm driving and this thing has no power. The engine light keeps blinking. It's idling super rough, and it's burning through fuel like a lot, like way more than I had expected it to. I went from a full tank to half a tank within 50 miles. I was like, man, something's not right here. So I end up getting the vehicle registered, this, that, the other thing, and I go over to Napa, and I get a new vacuum hose. The guy clears the code. Everything should be hunky-dory. So I turn it back on, code comes on again. I was like, oh God. So he checks it again. He says, hey man, so it sounds like your engine or cylinder number 2 is misfiring. It's something's not right with it. It's probably just a spark plugs. I said, okay. Well, I know a guy. So again, having to deal with the Mini Cooper all the time, having that in the shop, I brought it over to him, and he called me that same day and told me that I had been taken advantage of. The cylinder 2 only had 70 pounds of compression, and it's supposed to have 150. So I got taken, and so I have the absolute worst luck with cars. Just absolutely terrible. So he gave me the numbers, and he said, we could do this, this, and this. He goes, it's all going to result in at least $5,000. It's like, well, great. So I decided on a new engine, and it was actually $8,000. So I have not had a vehicle since May. May is when I lost the vehicle, and he's getting a new engine in. It should be in the 26th of September. and then he's going to put it in, which actually leads me to another interesting thing. I'm no longer working for the Libby PD. There were some issues. It was a big deal. I haven't actually made a video of camping video since everything went down. In November, it'll be a year. I left the PD, and I'm currently working in, I'll say, semi-law enforcement. It's not my first pick, but it's a foot in the door again, starting over from square one. 3 other officers quit, 2 the same day as me, and another one about a month later. So there were a lot going on there. If you're interested, check out the Western News, Libby, Montana, and just look up 3 officers quit, and it'll kind of explain everything. I'm not going to go into that much detail right now. It's just not something I feel like going into because, I'm on vacation. So that's that story. I think what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to be just do some more fishing, and we'll go from there.